Hey, I'm Adam Thompson. It's been a while since I've done a video, and this is what happens when the kids get into your office. Now let's sort this out. So I've had a run of strategy work lately, which has given rise to this video, which is the keyword I like to use for strategy, which is manoeuvres. Tricky word to spell, but it's a key one for strategy. Let's get into it. So I get the contact to potentially help someone with a strategy day. And there are three things that everyone's going to be asking for, and they are practical actions. The second thing is avoiding waffling.
Buy that off my mate Tom, if he wants to sell it.
And the third thing is to keep those interesting people in check, which basically means that people are going to talk a lot. There is a key word that lets us cut through both the practical actions and the avoid waffling goals, which I first learnt from Lucy Lowe and Patrick Hoverstadt, and that word is, as you can probably guess, manoeuvres. So let's talk definitions. A manoeuvre is a movement or series of moves requiring skill and care to carefully guide to achieve an end. A series of tactical exercises usually carried out in the field by large bodies of troops in simulating the conditions of war. So what do I get from that? The key thing for me is that we are stringing some things together. And that's where I get to my personal definition, which is this. A coherent set of moves. Pretty fancy, eh? Let me put these manoeuvres into context. I've got a thing that I call the strategy hierarchy, and it goes a little bit like this. Purpose. That's the reason we exist. Raison d'etre, if you want to get French about it. You can call your vision, your mission. I don't care what you put into that spot, but there's some reason that our show exists, and that's what the purpose is. So what I'm going to do next is where we traditionally jump to, which is plans. These are the actual things you're going to do, the what by when. You're probably calling them projects in your current strategies at the moment. They're going to be a necessary part, but we're going to need somewhere in between those two things, and that's what we call strategy. And for this I have quite a well thought out clear definition, which does not mean I might not change it if a better one comes along, and that definition is the choices we make on where to allocate our finite resources to create a coherent set of manoeuvres relative to the other actors in our environment to take us toward a position that best allows us to achieve our purpose. And then the final bit of our strategy hierarchy is tactics. Look at this like when you're executing the plan and you come across a river that you didn't expect to be there. You need to have some tactics to be able to get across that river. The stuff you have to do when we're trying to pull off the plan. Strategy sits between our purpose and our plans to create a coherent set of manoeuvres. And I can tell you what a strategy isn't. What you'll tend to do is organise all the initiatives you want to do, because no one wants to say no to anyone, underneath 5, you might call them pillars or something like that, and you're going to declare that a strategy. It might be a good plan, but let's not call it a strategy, because strategy is about the allocation of finite resources. If resources weren't finite, you wouldn't need a strategy, because your plan would simply be do it all. And here's one more final detail, which is time. Each one of these goes for a progressively longer period of time. Purpose can go out years. Strategy can be anything from 6 months to maybe 3 years or something like that. Your plans, you can put them out to here if you want the illusion that things are certain, but basically you're figuring out what you're going to do next. And tactics are responding to what's right in front of you. Manoeuvres. It's a powerful word. It avoids us going into the waffle of discussing purpose again. Pretty much we lock the purpose away early, or if we're really not sure of purpose, if stuff has changed that much that we have to reconsider why the heck we're existing in the first place, then that's a different type of conversation. But with purpose somewhat locked down early, we can now start talking about which manoeuvres do we need to make. A bit of process, we'll map out the environment, who are the relevant actors in it. I'll use a metaphor like the flotilla of ships or the herd. The point is, we need to have a bit of an idea of our environment or potential new environments, and we need to consider options in terms of what manoeuvres can we make to be successful. What is success? In achieving our purpose. But here's the other trick. If we're also talking manoeuvres, we're not going to get down to talking about plans. Because if people start to bring up a particular project that they're passionate about, the simple question is, so what sort of manoeuvre would that project be a part of? So the use of the word manoeuvres has this great effect of getting us above plans, but getting us below purpose. So we nail right what we need to be talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
What this means is, we do come up with practical actions. We'll finish the workshop with some actual manoeuvres that we are going to need to make. That can then lead to capabilities we need to have and what we might need to do. At the same time, We're not waffling on because it's not another session where we agree that our purpose is to
add evaluating products in evaluating ways strategically for evaluating world.
What we're going to be actually able to come up with is some defined manoeuvres. So it's the opposite of waffling. So manoeuvres, powerful word, gets thinking to where it needs to be, drop it into your next strategy or your next planning day and see a much stronger and more satisfying result. That's all for now. I'll see you next time.